could imagine a country that really could embrace all of its young people, could really educate all of its young people equally, and could provide access to opportunities, understand and respect different cultures that make up this wonderful country of ours, I think that the possibilities are endless. I think that this country is a great country, but I think that we've only begun to realize our greatness. Our real greatness is in all of us having opportunities, is in all of us being engaged in community and change and contributing. It is really important to be able to engage young people and really be able to give them a context for transforming their lives.
Well, when I began going downhill was when my father left me at the age of 8. Once we really found out that my father wasn't really coming back, I think that's what really, it began to make me think about, okay, I don't have my dad no more, so I sort of need a dad, you know, or who's gonna be my dad now? Me and my brother both needed some sort of father figure, and so that's what really drove us into the lifestyle. You know, being in gangs and being involved in that. And of course, with the gang lifestyle, you know, comes all the other things you gotta do. Where I grew up is actually South Hollywood. People always think about Hollywood, they think, you know, stars and, you know, lights and stuff like that, but in my neighborhood it's not like that. South Hollywood, where I grew up, has been for years now a place where there's a lot of poverty. There's a lot of gangs there and stuff like that happening. A lot of drug trades going on, a lot of drug dealers around. There's all that stuff that's just like our neighborhoods, right?
A lot of these young people that we work with right here in Youthbuild, they're living a life where they feel that the doors are closed to them. It's so exciting when we see the way their eyes and you can see it deep into their mind, how they get excited themselves because that spark of hope is building up inside of them.
During this program year, I was exposed to community service, but not community service as in through the courts. It was more of community service because we want to help people. And so whenever I thought about community service and they told me about it, I said, well, I don't want to do community service. I just finished doing 300 hours for court. Like, why do I want to do any more? But they develop a passion inside me to want to do community service, to want to help people.
His name was Mondo. He got shot, well, gang violence. So we're getting ready to bury him in a couple of days.
But I think the most important thing that I hold from this experience was the social awareness or the social consciousness that I have. I felt like I was sleeping, right, in this different world, in this mentality, in this imaginary society that I thought, which was only my block and only my hood, and that's it. But when I came here, I was like, it's bigger than that, you know? It's more of, there's things going on in other places that are affecting where I live, you know? So that really opened, and I think that's what's changed my life, that whole mind opening. And then I began to realize why I should stop doing the things, you know? And why my actions that I do affects everyone around me, you know? So.
Being on my own is me deciding what I want to do, what are the things that I do, and at 16 you're not going to make the right decisions sometimes. So I just quit school and I started working. And then there came a point where I found out about the program and I'm like, this is very good for me because I can get paid, which is something I really needed the money because I do pay rent. And so I can get paid and at the same time learn, which is something I wanted to go back to school. It's just I didn't know how. So this program really helped me a lot. When you come from a poor family, you don't have knowledge of budgeting or saving or how to handle your money. So what I learned here was all of that. I learned how to handle my money, how to start a savings account, bank account, savings bonds, interest, all that stuff that I would have never learned elsewhere. I have one teacher, she's very good with law and politics, and every time I have a question about it, she'll just answer, and so sophisticated, and I'm like, wow, look at her. And then there's our construction manager. He's like all into construction, and he teaches us, and he just tells us, you know, this is how this is gonna get done, and he's really good at his job, and that's what really makes me interested. I feel like I'm ready to go make changes in the world. Coming out of here, I've come out a leader.
Sometime in that first quarter, the light bulb goes off. And they're like, wow, not only do I have the opportunity to get my high school diploma or possibly go to college, I also get to rebuild this house. It's really interesting because when they start looking at the property and they're like, oh my God, man, what are we gonna be able to do with this? You should blow this house up. The rehab of a house is pretty complicated. And some of them, it's much easier to build a new house, but rehab is complicated because you have to pay attention to the floor or to the house being old and have settled and it's 1.5 inches off all the way around. So you have to make adjustments. And oftentimes young people have to make these adjustments in their lives. You have to figure out how to navigate your way through community systems in order to be able to take care of yourself and your family. It's very, very interesting and powerful for them to be able to watch this house come to be when the new siding goes on and the new roof goes on and the windows go in, and it's like, wow, we didn't believe that this was possible. And the same for them. There are many of them who don't, when they go to take their tests, and why are you giving us these homework packets? Why are we doing all this work? It's not that serious. Well, yes, it is that serious. And to watch the joy when they go to take their exams and they've passed. Right? They never really believed that they would pass, just like they never really believed that they could do anything with that house.
It was rough growing up as a kid. I mean, it really was, because I felt like I had to fight for everything I had, because I started out pretty much like, I felt like I was the lowest person, because I was born and raised on food stamps, in and out of the projects, on drugs. You got over half the people in the state of Kentucky's on welfare, on welfare. I was raised on that, food stamps and all that, But to me, I'm that kind of person that wants more out of life, wants to make more, wants to make a difference. And everybody in my family's in deep mines. Because it's in my blood, my papa's papa, every one of us, as far back on family trees you want to go is coal miners. The differences in between high school and Youthbuild programs is that they actually sit down one-on-one, take you aside if they need to teach you things. In high school, it's very different, you got like 20 or 30 kids in the classroom and they just don't care. I mean, that's just all there to it, they don't care. It is a big difference, whenever you're going through rough times like that, and when you get into a program like this, and you start seeing things go up around you, people change, you know what I'm saying? It just changes your whole life, you know what I'm saying? 20, 30 years from now, I'm gonna be able to bring my kids here and say, hey, I built this house, tell them all about Youthbuild. I went through different stages, I went through the stage to where I was having mood swings and stuff coming down off the stuff that I was doing, and I was getting angry and stuff, so I just picked up a hammer instead of picking up a gun. It's a lot harder than anything I've ever done, that's for sure, Standing up on the side of the walls like 10, 15 foot up on the ground, standing on 2x6 like this, walking backwards and forwards, packing them joists and stuff. I'd rather see 20 kids in a Youthbuild program as to see 20 kids in a grade. That's a no-brainer right there.